Aquas. Our fourth month is upon us. I'm so excited for you to have the content. I feel very proud about what I have put out for you and all around the metaphor of the crown and the awakened self. And let me know what you think. In today's PPP, I want to share what's been helping me lately. There's two things. One is something I talk about in the guide this month, and it's about seasonal blueprint. So I want to talk about that first. And then second, I want to talk about your roadmap. Um, they're like little roadmaps I've been making myself. There's a bit of a story behind it, and then I invite you to do a couple kind of exercise. Start with a little intro, kind of filling you in on what's happening with me these days, and that's it. Okay, let's begin. A little bit on my quest. I haven't done these check-ins in a while. It's funny, when I started doing these video lessons, I used to fill you guys in way more. I don't know what happened with that. So it's been a big month for me. The Kali month and calling in on Kali really was about everything that she's about. I had to die of a lot of things. It was a lot of decision making. There was a lot of decision making, and constantly coming back to the question, like basic questions, like what do I want and what do I love and what does light me up. And you know, I've been in service of others like for so long. It feels very almost natural for me. And it's something I have to constantly almost like pull myself back and be like, no, but how can I be of service to myself first? Because that's what I teach you guys. Like literally, you know, how to fill my cup up so I be the brightest I can be for my family, for my community, you know, for you all. And you know, Kali really worked through me in myriads of ways. She woke me up one night. I couldn't sleep, and I was really anxiety like ridden, which is really unlike me. Very few times in my life that I've been woken up because of anxiety, but my mind was swirling, and I basically, like, after journaling and after reflecting and talking with some girlfriends, it was basically boiled down to just how much I do. And like, part of me is like exhausted. And also this like little girl, how good I want to be. So that was like a really big, I know I'm making it sound like it was like an easy thing to figure out, but it didn't feel easy like 2 weeks ago to be like, I'm doing so much. I feel kind of stretched out like always. And also this idea that of space. And one thing I've really learned in 2020, I really encourage you to answer that question. And for me was that I need space to play. My word was play. And not just that, but I need the space to play. And so this year, my phrase is choose Dharma, which is basically like choose my deeper mission, my deeper vocation, choose myself over and over again. And I can't do that if I'm like constantly doing content for everybody. And even though I love that, and I think that's like the part that was kind of heartbreaking for me, is that I really love doing everything. But one of my big dreams is to write a book. It's a very specific book. It's a visual book. And I can't, like, I really realized, I was like, I will never write it if I'm just constantly being pulled everywhere, and I just need to sacrifice. Even though it scares the shit out of me, I need to like really slow down. So that being said, so I got my banner. Of course, I've done my banner already, and I'm really excited about this. And it really feels right. I really recommend you watch the replay of the New Year's New Word workshop. You can get it through the course site. So watch in a few weeks for the evolution of Chic West. And that's really how I've been seeing it. I'm always going to be on Chic West, and writing my book is actually my ultimate Chic West. And I don't feel I would be a good leader if I didn't do that, because that's what I'm teaching you all to do. So stay tuned for that. I'm so excited. I know thrilling magic awaits. So in the guide, I talk about seasonal blueprints. I just want to clear up if there would be any confusion over that. So over the years of doing soul rituals, whether it be with my art practice, my oracle card pulling, whether it be with my yoga practice, or whether it be with mantra chanting or nature walk, I go through seasons, and sometimes I have things that I do on the daily that really work for like a time. And because I know they work, I'm like, I'm not going to change that for a while. And I've been calling them my seasonal blueprints. And, you know, I call myself a creative ritualist. Like, it's really rare that I do something for the same day in and day out. But I want to share with you my seasonal blueprint that's been working really well. And I'm hopeful that throughout these 4 months together, you found, you know, a rhythm, a tempo that worked for you. And that hopefully you can replicate that in, again, a rhythm that works for you and that feels right for you. So I'm not sharing that so that you copy me at all. I'm just sharing it in the hope that inspires your own seasonal blueprint. And that's also something you can share with us in the community. So what's been working for me lately, as I get off the bus and I go and I walk the dogs right away, I put on a podcast or some music I really love. And I'll go, and that usually takes me 30 minutes. And then I jump on my cardio machine downstairs in my basement for 15 or 20 minutes if I really feel like I need a good sweat. And then I'll do 20 or 30 minutes yoga practice. And then I'll pull a card from, lately I've been doing the Wild Unknown deck. And I'll put my essential oils, and that's it. And so it goes dog walk, cardio, yoga, oracle deck, and I'll say the whole thing takes me like an hour and a half, and that's been working. So I've been replicating that, and I've been also craving like longer, really yin practices, really slow practices, and this is due to the heaviness I often feel around this time, like November, the darkest time, and it's very much like grief relief for me. And whenever I feel heavy, I know it's grief. And so I've been doing that, those practices. So let us know what's been working for you. So this is what a seasonal kind of blueprint looks like. And I've been doing that since pretty much like October, I would say, since Isaiah started back at school and stuff. So it seemed a bit more of a routine. Now I'm really excited to share with you my road maps. I have two here, and I'll show you the pictures, what they look like without the writing in them, so you can make your own. So I started doing this in my journal when, I think I've shared this before, but sometimes it's really silly, but I end a day and I have it in my head that I haven't been productive or that I haven't done anything. Like, this is really almost like ingrained in me, like almost I did nothing. And it's not true. It's not true. And so I've been, writing down things that I do, whether that be like soul rituals, whether that be things for work, whether that be even like in front of the computer or, making meals and this and that. And what I've been doing is I've been doing these road maps. So they're literally like, I'll go a bubble and I'll start with like, in the morning, like, make coffee, answered email, and then I'll go down and, I did my soul ritual, maybe like my, my seasonal blueprint or whatever. And then, I had a meeting or this and that. And then I would like look at it and be like, oh my God, I did so much. Like, who am I to say I haven't done anything? So so for the New Year's New Word workshop, I was like, cool, we could totally do these word maps in, a bit of a celebration recap of 2020. And then, so I just want to show you really quick. So I did this now to celebrate. So I did 12 bubbles. And in the bubbles, you can write, every month what you celebrate in that month. And it was so great because last night we did it as a group, and everybody, every month somebody gets something to celebrate, so 2020 wasn't all the shits. And then what I did, this one is black and white. I just want to show you that, like, you don't need all the the paints and everything. Like, you can make it like really, really simple. You can make it with like colored pencils and everything else. And then this one, of course, I made the bubbles first. I did the watercolors. And then for this one, it was a roadmap to my year's word, which was really, really powerful. So I just told you that my phrase, it's not a word this year, it's a bit of a phrase. It's choose Dharma, choose my higher vocation, my really deeper purpose here. And one of that thing is really like writing my book, for sure. But there's other thing I can do to really embody my word. So what I did is I put my word at the top, and then I went down and I wrote all the things, small daily acts of bravery that I can do to embody that word. Embody, the word embody in French is incarner. And I wish, if you speak French, you know just how much more intense that sounds. Incarner, it's really like being born into. When we work with words and intentions and phrases and missions, it can get really kind of abstract and metaphysical. So it's really fun to do this and like to look at like these little things that I can do to really, again, incarnate, to embody that word. This, of course, like my mission is so embedded in like my lifestyle, but maybe yours is not, and that's completely fine, as well. Part of what I put in here had nothing to do with like choose Dharma, like my art, my yoga. Like one of them was like, how do I do things clothes, or like art, but I was like, overhaul my closet or something. So they end up being like these things that I know I can go back to, that I know whenever I do these things, I'm choosing my word, I'm embodying my word. So I hope these help you. I'll post a little sample so you have a bit of a referral paper, and I wish you good luck. Thank you so much.